$2,000.79.
I make a motion to approve warrants for week 18, payroll warrant number 37, and appropriations warrant number 42.
I will second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Okay, review of office hours. The DPW director and the transfer station supervisor came in and met with us to talk about the annual solid waste conference that they attended. They highlighted the needs to educate residents about the importance of composting to reduce the municipal waste stream. This would be both environmentally and economically wise. There is a DEP grant money that could help us to create a composting program at the transfer station. They also highlighted the importance of recycling smarter to prevent contaminated loads. To spread off that a little bit, they did say that the waste is growing a lot faster than anticipated. So Maine has 2 waste areas or dumping areas, landfills, and they're growing at a more increased rate, and they could be looking at being filled within the next 3 years at tops, 3 to 5 years. So yes, recycling and composting is the recreation director informed us that Jamie Lynn Warden was extending her employment until the end of the school year. Her last day will be June 18th. Recreation director is accepting applications for the assistant recreation director position. The job description has been posted on the town website as well. The DPW director also provided us with the following updates. He and Charlie Emerson from Allstate Materials took a drive on the roads. Within a week, we will have a list of roads to pave this year and the cost for each. He was waiting to hear back from the striping company to paint the lines on Dole's Ridge Road. The DPW will be relocating the culvert on Tucker Road and finishing work at the end around the cistern. There's areas in the town with inaccurate speed limits. The DPW will be correcting those in the coming weeks. Let me see here. Department head updates. David.
Yes.
Okay.
Public Works, week ending April 25th, 2026, road crew retrieved new plow truck from Skowhegan. Assistant mechanic was swapping out tires on both ambulances for summer. Began spring grading, starting with River Road, and started roadside cleanup on River Road and Joy Road. Fleet maintenance continued work on the grader, changed batteries on ambulance 1 and engine 1, swapped out winter tires for summer tires on both ambulances, worked on trucks 3 and 5. Buildings and grounds, the tech used some PTO along with the holiday, making it a short week for him. Finished taping and mudding the back wall and started painting the lower half of all the walls in the big room of the old town hall. Ran electrical lines in the basement and a new phone line to the assistant rec director's office at the old town hall. Collected recycling and dropped off at the transfer station. The director collected information about the loader and prepared a document to present to town meeting. Completed weekly reports for DPW and transfer station. Completed and submitted payroll, fuel receipts, and parts slips. Traveled back to Rockland for DPW training Monday through Thursday evening. Attended special town meeting for loader and meeting with the crew. The department worked to combine 238.75 hours this week. The transfer station, for the 22nd, 25th, and 26th, there were 209 users those 3 days, and 163 recyclers for 78% of recycling. Total revenue for those 3 days was $761. Code enforcement for week 415 to 427. He had 1 growth permit, 7 building permits, 5 electrical permits, 5 plumbing permits, for a total of 18 permits. Total fees collected was $5,723.17. Year to date, he's issued 76 permits. Year-to-date totals is $19,971.31. He had 11 inspections during this time period. The town has hired a new code enforcement office assistant. She started on Wednesday, 4/22, working 14 to 17 hours per week. Monday, the 27th, we will meet with IT to start the process. Actually, it already passed. On Monday, the 2017th, they met with IT to start the process of scanning and saving office files to the town's website. Soon we'll be putting the code office files on the town website as they get scanned, most likely starting with map 1R and so on. This may take a year to get all the files available to be seen on the website. Other activities this week included a shoreland training session on Wednesday, 4/29, and a site walk on Thursday, 4/30, and 2 site walks scheduled for Friday, May 1st. Fire and EMS for week ending April 25th, 2026. Number of calls this week was 21. There was 16 EMS calls and 5 fire calls. Month to date was 61. Year to date, 230 calls. There were several open shifts this week, but they were covered by the deputy chief and the chief and by members who covered short notice. Trainings in-house Wednesday night was a continuation of annual driver recertification. Maintenance conducted or needed. Equipment, Ambulance 2's Life Pack, which is our monitor on the ambulance for vitals, and we can use it for other things. Went out for repairs due to the plastic base breaking out of the mount that secures it while in motion. Tires were swapped out for the summer tires on Ambulance 1 and 2. Ambulance 1 needed new batteries. Engine 1 needed new batteries. Hours total work this week was 508.25 for the fire department. Month to date, they are 7 calls ahead of last April, and year to date, they are 1 call behind last year. There were 8 requests for mutual aid this week, 1 intercept, and 6 EMS calls to Sockabee Rescue, 1 fire call to Cornish. The chief worked a combined 59 hours this week. The chief was out of town in Rockland Monday evening through Thursday evening for a DPW conference. Parks and Rec Department, week ending 4/25/26. Current weekly programs, vacation camp. We took trips to Sockabee Valley Elementary School for a trail walk and also took the kiddos to Maine Wildlife Park in Gray. Coffee social every Wednesday from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Old Town Hall. Youth Open Gym Tuesday nights at 5:30 p.m. at HB Emory. 3-on-3 basketball for 5th to 7th graders Thursday nights at HB Emory. Open registration, register online at limingtonrec.com. Summer camp registration. Line dancing with Denise, class is every Friday at 10 a.m. at the Old Town Hall, $10 drop-in fee. Spring rugby for children in K through 12th grade. Youth field hockey clinic. Adult co-ed softball league and community yard sale. Youth programming, spring sports are here. This week, track, t-ball, flag football, rugby, and field hockey have all started up. T-ball games begin this Saturday, and our Tri-County Highlanders Rugby Club heads to Dover, New Hampshire for the first rugby matches of the season. Adult programming, our next community outing is for the Cinco de Mayo on Tuesday, May 5th, and we are leaving from the Old Town Hall at 10:15 to head to El Mexicano in Sanford for lunch. Please reach out to Madison to reserve your spot on the bus. It's a $5 transportation fee, and you are responsible for purchasing your own lunch. Momodeo opens for the season Saturday, May 23rd. The department is hiring. Current job openings include the assistant director position, summer camp counselor positions, and beachfront staff positions. Job descriptions and applications are available on our website under the department information.
Thank you, David. Welcome. Town manager's update.
Okay. The code enforcement staff and I had a productive meeting on Monday with Rick Lorello of Information Systems of Maine, our IT service provider. We began mapping out how to digitize the code enforcement office files so residents and realtors can access information online and save a trip to town office. We hope to start putting this information on the town website by the end of May, if not sooner. I want to thank our remote bookkeeper, Sierra Parnell, for all her help this past winter and spring. Her assistance was greatly appreciated. Her employment agreement ends in a few weeks. And now that our deputy clerk is doing accounts payable and our accounting firm has cleaned up our payroll issues, services are no longer needed. I met with Steve Kelly, our EcoMaine Board of Directors representative, to coordinate the select board field trip to the EcoMaine facility on May 18th. The DPW director, transfer station supervisor, transfer station attendants, and I will also be attending. I want to remind residents that if they want to see agendas or meeting minutes, just click agendas on the town website. And if residents want to report a road issue, animal issue, or code issue, just click 311 on the town website.
Excellent. Okay, old business or new business, anybody?
The arrival of equipment.
Yes, I see the new John Deere loader has arrived. Obviously the new truck, I know the crew went up and I think Friday picked up the new town truck, plow truck. And then today I saw the new TYM, the small loader, go by on the trailer. So that's here in town. I'm aware that the new lawnmower is also here. So everything that was offered at or was approved at town meeting is currently on hand, with the exception of the covers probably for the transfer station.
Oh,
We're still
yeah,
waiting for that,
yeah.
but I do know that Jake has picked up the trailer too, the enclosed trailer for the
Mattresses.
Yeah, for the mattresses. So that stuff is here now.
What's a TYM?
It's the new loader for.
It's a smaller tractor.
Yeah, it's the tractor that the town purchased. The smaller. That's the manufacturer's name is a TYM. They purchased it from Scott's Recreation. So, and it's got forks with it. It's got the flail mower with it as well. So, yeah, old business, new business.
Jake's got some new business.
Oh, sure. Oh, yes, yeah, this is gonna fall in. Good point. I just remember.
So, coming from the waste management conference that the director and I went to 2 weeks ago now, two of the things that we need to work on as a town is recycling more, partly because of the possible reimbursement program that's coming down the line, that the more recycle, the more money we'll get back, basically is what that comes down to. So we have started doing a raffle at the transfer station. So every time you bring in recycling, you can get a raffle ticket. And at the conference, I actually won a door prize, which was a composter, oddly enough. So we need to work on composting. So I put that in for the raffle for this month. So we have a drawing for this month's raffle. If somebody wants to draw a ticket, we can announce a winner.
Go ahead.
All right.
Chair privileges.
Oh, yeah. People know that if I'm pulling. Here you go,
Oh,
sir.
I gotta read it.
Yeah, you gotta read it. And this is for the composter, you said?
So we have a composter that is on site up there. If you've gone into the transfer station, you've seen it sitting there by the attendance shack. With the composter, it's basically just a backyard composter unit. With it comes a compost turner, which is a thing that you put in the top of it and you can turn your compost. And then we have under the sink, like in the kitchen, sort of compost bucket for collection, and then you take it out, put it in this thing in your backyard. I think that's all the pieces to it. It was a collection of stuff. So the winner,
Yeah.
Ken Thibodeau.
Ken Thibodeau.
So Ken, if you're watching, and we do have your phone number, we will contact you. If you're not, you've won the composter. So
Congratulations, Ken.
congratulations, Ken. And congratulations to everybody that was recycling, not knowing the raffle was there. However, going forward, we plan to do the raffle every month. We will do a monthly raffle. And every week you go in and recycle, you can get additional tickets. So the more you recycle, we will not give you an additional ticket if you drop off a plastic jug and then go back through the line and get it out. This will be a daily recycling. So this month is going to be a yearly beach pass for Moy-Madeo. That is a $50 value, I believe. So you'll get your free beach pass. Now, if you decide you're going to come and buy your beach pass before the raffle is drawn, you may give this one to somebody. So we're going to give it to you whether you have one or not, so you can gift it. Jason touched on it a little bit earlier. Composting is key. Like 30% of the material going into these landfills is food waste, most of which can be composted right in your backyard. Whether you garden or not, you can still compost and find somebody to use your soil, or just mix it into the back 40, I don't know. So composting is key, and also recycling is key, because the more that we recycle, the less that goes into the landfills. And I was mentioning to the board earlier tonight that this waste management conference we went to, you'd think it might be all, green and, encouraging people to do it for the environment and everything like this, which is all good. However, their focus was, hey, our landfills are going to be full, possibly in the next 5 years, and it takes 10 years to permit a new one. So we need to find a way to slow down what's going into the landfills. And recycling is a huge way to do that. More later, and keep recycling.
Thank you, Jake. Any other older new business?
Did you want to address that as well?
I guess, we can tentatively as we go forward here. The office hours for the select board are gonna be 4 to 8. Is that what it's, yeah. So, yeah, he just brought it to the attention. So moving forward here, where back when Tammy and I were elected, we chose to extend the hours to be available to the townspeople more. Now that Matt's here, the town manager's here, he's kind of taken over the daily rules for everybody. So we're gonna shorten up. It's just been hard to my business is really busy for us to get here, and then Tammy, same deal. It's been hard to get here, so.
Yeah, and I'm in the office at 2 o'clock anyway.
Yeah, so Matt's here, so we're not really losing any availability of the people. So that falls in the new business, and I know David's gonna be busy in the near future, so. So yes, so that's new business, old business, I think, anything, we're good there. We move into public comment. It's open to the floor if anybody would like to speak. I see. Yeah, sure, step right up. Sure, really.
Thank you. My name is Bonnie Lord Laughlin, live on Lake Road. Could you all take a few minutes? This feels like a very calm meeting tonight, and the sound system just sitting here sounds really good. I'd like you to just take a few minutes and educate us, please, about exactly where the sound system is right now. It was a short, to me, 2 weeks ago that the school board presentation happened here, and Clay Gleason stood here. But any of us who wanted to speak, I guess, had to stand here over in a zone over there. And then it was what feels like a very long, 10 days ago, when there was a meeting in the room here. And that was at that meeting, which I attended, we were told that new speakers had been put in, and I've been looking at them tonight, and I see they're still here. So my question is just in the calm of right now, when we don't have any other real meeting happening or other pressing discussions going on, I guess, could you just tell us, please, where we're at right now? If we sit anywhere else in the room and talk, is it picked up on the speakers? And I'll let you say all that. Just
Sure.
start from the, just if you would tell us where we're at right now.
Yep.
What those new speakers mean, what they're picking up and what they're not picking up. That would help us all, I think,
Yeah.
very much.
The speakers are designed for people to hear better in the back. They call it voice lift. It's not super pronounced, but it does work. We were playing with this last week to try to understand it. It's made to project the voice better for people back there. So it's not really anything that you can bluntly hear loud in your face, but it's made to help. And we turned them off, turned them on, and you actually can notice the difference in the back of the room. It's just to help produce my voice back there better, or Tammy's or Matt's. As far as the system's functionality is 100%. Everything is up and working good. The line, basically everything from this desk, this wall here, right back to the front of those chairs is the line. Everybody can get up and walk and they can hear me. I can walk around the room, I'll even show you. Your voice is gonna be heard. The line kind of goes off this socket right here. So from this line forward, if you're standing here, you're standing anywhere in this area, your voice is heard. You can talk. So if you're sitting here and for some reason you're sitting in a chair and you're whispering to your friend, you're gonna be heard on the system.
That's important.
Yeah, so, but as you walk back, technically now, they shouldn't be able to hear me talking. So, and that's because it cuts the sound out.
Wait, they shouldn't be able to hear you talking.
Right.
This has been very helpful because I think you were just saying that the speakers they amplify what you all are,
Exactly.
what anyone in this area is saying, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Then you just said a minute ago, you won't hear, I can't remember.
Right, okay, they're speakers, they're not microphones.
Right, that's been very important.
Yeah, so they're speakers designed to project, they call it voice lift. Lift our voices up so they can hear better back there. It doesn't do anything with the microphones at all. The microphone is right here. And it's designed so we do have a room full and people are chatting back there. I know people get upset and they smack them, hey, quiet down, but we can't hear them on air. And the people at home, they don't hear the chatter of people out back.
Okay, great. I think that helps a lot.
And maybe as we go forward, we may try to put a tape line or something just across to really, yeah.
And that section, which the array picks up, it can be modified to pick up different sections in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think it would be helpful for any of us who come to all be on the same page about that, whatever you can do.
Yeah.
If it changes, one meeting, we're on a different zone or something, that would be good to establish. Yeah.
I
I
think
think
the only
for the
time,
time being, it's just gonna be from that plug forward, so that everybody's sitting, like, we couldn't hear them chatter if they were talking right now. Well, I mean, we would hear them here physically,
I
but
think
on
I get
air,
I
on
think I
video,
get
they
it.
wouldn't hear.
yeah.
So
So if you were to go home and rewatch this again, you would, when I stepped out of the area, it should go quiet. You shouldn't hear me. Even though you were talking to me, on air, you shouldn't hear it.
It'll look like you were talking to yourself.
That's the point, though. How it comes across on the
Yeah,
recording is another part of this, because I think for a meeting or two, when we heard people trying to give information from a chair, I wasn't sure if that was going to be able to be heard later.
Yeah,
So we
no,
didn't know until we saw the recording, and indeed it was heard on it was heard on the Sucker River TV recording.
really, so they could hear them sitting down out back.
Yep, at
Wow.
least where Danielle and
Huh.
Jake are.
Yeah, because we're told by the sound installer that it shouldn't hear it.
Well, thank you then. Thanks for everything you've been doing to show us, but I appreciate this part of the conversation too, because if you all haven't yet been able to get that info,
Yeah.
that somebody sitting where these folks are, at least. Their voices were heard.
Yeah, and then the biggest thing going forward, to be honest, is any meeting, whether it's ours or a planning board or appeals board, the whole point to the matter is anybody that wants to speak has to get up. And I don't know how, if we can get something in writing on the wall, just that way there's no issues going forward, that everybody knows if you're gonna chat, if you're gonna respond, you need to go to the podium.
That's the decorum.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, appreciate the conversation. No pun intended, but appreciate that you're helping us all get used to it. You know, it's only been a few weeks and we're coming along with it, really, I think.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hey Jason,
Yeah.
my dad just messaged, she's watching from home. He could hear you when you were back
Okay,
here.
so we'll have to
So we'll
check
have
into
to
that.
check with,
What was it? He could or couldn't?
He could,
He could, okay.
he can hear from back here.
So, yeah, so that'd be a question for David, that's because when I watched all the other two towns, they were, literally couldn't hear him, so. Yeah,
Maybe have some tweaking to do.
yeah,
So, just a point of clarification, I was gonna get up before I said anything. You are correct, from what I understand, talking with David when he was here setting it up, is that is picking up that zone. However, if you're in the back of the room projecting your voice into that zone, it will pick you up, especially Jason, you have a loud voice, right?
yeah.
So there's no problem hearing you no matter where you are in the room. If there's two people in the audience that are having a conversation between the two of them and I can just barely hear them here, it probably won't pick them up. But if, say, Danielle stood up and said something to the board loud enough for you to hear, that will pick it up because she's now projecting well into that
Into the
zone.
zone, yeah.
So that's why probably from home, when you did go out there, because you were talking across the room to Bonnie, she could hear you because it was, or
In the zone.
he could hear you because you were projecting into that zone. So you do have to be a little bit careful if you're coming to a meeting and you're having a conversation that you may not want anybody to hear. Just be aware that there is a microphone in the ceiling kind of picking up everything that's going in the room. It's not intended to pick up conversations in the audience, but it might. Like if I can hear you from the podium, they can probably hear you at home.
Yeah.
That's the way I understood it.
Okay.
And I think that probably jives with what Mr. Staples was saying.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jake.
and it was my understanding if they were outside the zone, they couldn't.
Right, and he may be able to, but this ain't acoustically the perfect room either. There's a lot of bouncing and then move, so, you know. So, yeah, it's something we'll check in with.
Very
you.
disappointing.
So when he was setting it up, he wanted to set it up so it was kind of set it and forget it, so that all they had to do was turn it on and that the operator in the back room didn't have to change that. So he kind of set it up like if there was always a town meeting. So he brought the line way back here. Otherwise, it would be, you could bring the line right up to the meeting table and then it could just hear you, and then it would be the operator that would have to turn on the zone that would kind of grab here, but he set it up so it's just kind of always the same. So that's why it's kind of a big area.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if we
guess
can shorten the area then,
Yeah, maybe move the podium up.
Yeah, move the podium up, shorten the area.
or just bring it to the backside of the podium.
Well, I don't think it is much further beyond here, because he actually measured to kind of there, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those, unless you're in there messing with that zone for every single meeting, every time somebody comes up to one of the podiums or whatever, you have to have somebody come in and reprogram the thing to do that. So we kind of set it so it's like, this is the way it is.
Simplicity.
And if you're getting a few extra voices, it's better than
Right,
missing
not enough,
some.
absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Patience.
Bonnie Laughlin again. I think that one thing that would help us too is, I don't know how many people are running the camera now, but my suggestion, and whether it's yours or not, would be to be sure that when people are speaking that the camera is on that person.
Yeah, like it is.
It is now, and a minute ago, and I'm not about to say anybody's doing anything wrong, but I've been watching a couple of the meetings, and my request to you is made because the camera was not on the speaker all the time.
Okay.
And, you know, sometimes the camera's on you all and there's somebody talking here.
Not a problem. I
And
will
then-
make sure that that's passed on. Yeah.
It seems reasonable,
Yep,
doesn't
no,
it?
absolutely.
And
It
I
should
don't
be.
think there are that many people who run the cameras.
No,
so
there's only two of them, so.
that could be
Yep.
communicated to them. That would help all of us.
They're listening to you right now, because one's in there and one's sitting
I
there.
know, I can see that one there. And I don't know who's in there.
Yep, no, it's all good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a text that said that even people that are at the window.
You can hear them.
Patty can hear him
Okay.
on the meeting.
So we might have to address
Yeah,
that, because
we'll-
it's not supposed to work that way.
Check with David if you want. Okay, we'll move on to notifications, which I will gladly read if you would like.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Select Board office hours are Thursdays from 4 to 8 PM. On-air meeting times at 7. Transfer station hours are Saturdays and Sundays from 9 to 4. Wednesdays, 12 to 4. Transfer station sticker must be attached to your vehicle's windshield for disposal of all items. Transfer station stickers are available at the town office for $20. No sticker is required to use the swap shop. Transfer station does not accept brush, yard clippings, or hazardous waste. Riverside Recycling of Portland takes hazardous waste. A friendly reminder to all residents, building waste, furniture, and mattresses should not be left at the curbside or burnt, as we have a transfer station for those items. General assistance applications are available at the town office during normal business hours. Applications must be filled out and accompanied with supporting documentation and must be signed and returned to the GA administrator or the town clerk. The planning board meets at the municipal complex the first and third Monday evenings of the month at 7 PM.
We should probably address that too.
That's it.
Fires lately.
Yeah, I mean, this rain's very helpful. It was in high fire danger yesterday and the day before. We've been to a few.
Well, 5 this week
Yeah.
alone, this last week alone,
Yeah,
so.
I've been to 3 structure fires and 5 woods fires. So just really be mindful of what you're doing and burning, and when it's really extreme or high, still, even the small fire pits, it's not worth it, because I went to Baldwin Tuesday, and a little fire pit turned into burning his full shed and half of his house down. So it's sad. It's just, it can get
Same
away
thing in
super quick. So it's not worth that little bit. Wait a few days, wait until we get a good run of rain, so absolutely. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? We are adjourned at 7:33. Thank you, Ben.